The power of forgiveness. Everyone has experienced the sweet release of forgiveness, as well as the hard coldness of not forgiving. You know the difference, and you know the investment in the story that keeps a lack of forgiveness in place. You also know the relief when you actually forgive and let go of the burden. Our parents were not perfect. They consciously or unconsciously did things that were harmful to us, as our grandparents did things that were harmful to our parents. Our lovers, our children, our governments, and our competing tribes have harmed us. Now is the time to forgive. Horrible things are continually being done all over the planet, in our own individual minds and in the collective mind. To forgive these horrors does not necessarily mean to forget. You can forgive and let go without forgetting. A huge learning and humbling occurs when you are willing to see the story of humanity in all of its horrors. Yet you can also recognize how much effort is needed to hang on to the story. You can see that all of the effort and attention put into hanging on are actually a meditation on not forgiving. The stories continue to replay with an obsession over what should have been done or what might be done again. Continuing to replay the story saps your energy. It is exhausting. I honor the need to remember and to witness the horror that has been done and is still being done. But usually we bring to that memory more hatred, suffering, and misery, which ensures even more hatred, suffering, and misery. After the war in Yugoslavia in 1999, I saw a news clip of a home video filmed by a man who said he was making the video so that his children could see what had been done to them, so that they would never forgive or forget. The horrors occurring at that time were themselves in retaliation for what one group of people had previously done to the other. The futility and the waste of this kind of tribal warfare is going on within our own minds as well. I'm not going to let go of what they did to me because it was wrong. Yes, wrongs have been done and are still being done. There's no need to forget or deny the wrongs that have been done both to you and by you, but you can let go of suffering over them. Forgive them, for they know not what they do, is the truth. Any war that is going on because of what happened yesterday is a result of ignorance, of holding on to some idea of revenge. It is very tempting to hold on to these kinds of views because there is some pleasure in it, and that pleasure must be recognized. It is the pleasure of egoic righteousness. When you are unwilling to forgive, and you are holding on to a story of your suffering and who did it to you, you are cursing them, whether consciously or unconsciously. You must be willing to stop the karma with yourself. Be willing to say, no, this time it goes no further than me. This is the willingness to be at peace. The willingness to forgive is a natural outgrowth of the willingness to be free, and gives you the clarity to recognize the temptation to hold on. I once called my mother on Mother's Day. My mother was a sarcastic and mean alcoholic. Alcohol was poisoning her, shifting her whole personality. I had had some space from her for years, and I decided one year that I would call her on Mother's Day and simply lie to her and tell her what a great mother she was. She was old and sick, and she didn't have many years left, so why not? I called her and told her what a great mother she had been to me. And as the words came out of my mouth, they were true. I didn't mean she had treated me well, because she hadn't. I didn't mean her intentions were great. Sometimes they were, and sometimes they weren't. But as I told her that she had been a good mother, My life experience was finally augmented by my relationship with this difficult woman. My difficulty with my mother finally contributed to the richness of my life. In that sense, she was indeed a good mother. What a relief there was in telling her this. Concurrently, my ability to forgive myself for having hated her for so many years arose. It was such a simple act. I had no idea I would see such ramifications of healing. Finally, to be able to forgive this whole experience of humanity, with all of its functions, drives, aggressions, and desires, is to recognize what is untouched by any of that, what remains pure, innocent, and free even in the grossest of stories. In our desire to hold on to revenge, we actually keep ourselves from the experience of freedom. As with everything else, in our desire to hold on to one thing, we keep something else away. In the desire to give something, we actually receive. You can inquire directly within, what am I not willing to forgive? As you do this, you find another opportunity to bring to consciousness what has not been consciously seen, what might still be holding your mind in bondage. No effort is needed here, only the willingness to be completely honest. Once you have honestly seen what you are not willing to forgive, you might also find it helpful to ask yourself, what am I willing to forgive? Recognize forgiveness and savor it for a moment. It is important to not force anything, just to welcome all into the heart of consciousness. Can you forgive? Can you accept forgiveness?